we're going to talk about fashion and shopping local, something I'm also pretty passionate about. We have 425 magazine style writer Andrew Hoge with ultra cool menswear trends and where to find them locally.
Absolutely.
Hello, my friend.
Good morning.
So what are you seeing? What's the big picture this season for men's trends?
Yes, well, as you know, I always get really excited about seeing the new trends from, what's being shown at Fashion Week to what people are wearing to Fashion Week. And what I've noticed is there's so many trends to keep track of, right? It's just like hashtag this, hashtag that. But generally, there is a shift away from the kind of classic symbols of luxury, which are, logos and exclusivity, all the way over to a valuation of time and craft, which I feel are perfectly suited for the Pacific Northwest lifestyle. And as I kind of dug into it, there are some key trends that just speak to our zeitgeist. And so it's a really cool opportunity to sort of not step away too much from what we know and love, but to kind of embrace that like blend of fashion and comfort and what we love in the Pacific Northwest.
We really do, and I'm already seeing one that we love, which is plaid we're starting with. So tell me about this Pacific Northwest staple.
Yes, plaid is not just something that you can throw on anymore. There are different designers that are experimenting with color, with fabrication, with the design, but they're also applying it to accessories. It's all over jackets, even scarves.
Look at this.
So it really is something that's been around for a little bit. It is continuing to grow and people are continuing to experiment with it, but it's definitely not going anywhere.
And the fact that you can dress it up and dress it down, because looking at those photos, I usually tend to think this is like flannel, plaid, like casual, but you can really elevate the look.
You absolutely can. And plaid on your dress shirt at work is definitely something that people are experimenting with right now. So there's so much versatility. It's not just like, that common pattern that you just throw on whenever.
And our next one is what you're wearing, this fireman jacket, which I'm loving on you. I think I need this. What is this style?
It looks so good on you. So this is a fireman jacket, and it's characterized by these like heavy duty clasps. And actually, I've had this in my wardrobe for 8 years. I found it at a vintage store, which a lot of these trends, just by the way, trends come and go, right? And so vintage is a huge thing for the Pacific Northwest. We have a beautiful vintage culture, so when you can, supporting that is super important. But this is vintage Ralph Lauren, and
the buckle detail.
Yeah, it's hardy, but it's also just like relaxed, and you can layer it, but it's not super serious. And this is vintage, but there's other ways of reinterpreting it on more modern silhouettes and things like that. But this is definitely something that's appearing all over sort of the social sphere.
Yes, this is gorgeous. I want this for myself, and I'm going to belt it since we're a little height difference here, but it's not a big deal. Next up, textures and fabrics you want to talk about for the outdoors.
For the outdoors. So here's the thing is like, the Gorp Core craze is here. You have Arctic and you have Patagonia, you have North Face, very like futuristic and things that we see all the time. But what I'm starting to see also is this lean toward nostalgia, sort of that time and that craft, right? So we're seeing lots of natural fibers, boiled wools, corduroy for the outdoors that just kind of give that like little sense of nostalgia and vintage while looking good and rugged outdoors. And so I brought a couple corduroy pieces, obviously,
this color,
right? Color's really fun, texture's really fun. Not really great for keeping your head warm, but it looks really, really good. But we do have a couple other options here. This is Filson,
we know and love,
staple, right? But it's like a different color. It's not just that thing that you just throw on, but you can layer it. It adds texture. This might actually look good under something like the fireman's jacket. It's a little bit rugged, but it has that fashion twist with the contrast of color. And then this kind of almost has, if you can see it, a little bit of that pattern kind of look with that little light corduroy finish. And I feel like corduroy's been was passé for so long, but it's coming back in a really big way.
I'm seeing it even in pants, so many different options with corduroy.
And then this is a very modern interpretation, right? So this is kind of more of that blazer silhouette. It's a little bit more pronounced, but it's a way to dress it up and stylized.
Gorgeous.
Something that's been around for a long time.
Definitely. And something else I feel like that's been around for a long time is this sweater that we want to talk about next.
Oh my goodness. So this is a Cowichan design. And so this originally came from Vancouver Island, just, 100 miles north of us. It was, crafted by Indigenous peoples, but it's something that has been very popular in cinema and popular culture and things like that. It's definitely having a comeback.
And Hoge,
yes,
right, was
exactly.
how it got kind of famous with the sweater.
I know, it's great.
Oh my goodness. Okay, and then we have to get to all these shoes options over here. Chunky shoes. What do we have?
Absolutely. So, the boat shoe kind of came back. I don't know if you remember, but in high school, early college, it was all about the boat shoes.
It was a vibe.
And then they came back in such a big way last year, really chunky, really hardy. Maybe like a subtle reminder to even though there's all these trends to keep our feet on the ground. I don't know. But it's also kind of transitioned into the shoes we wear, right? So these Converse, we love our Converse in the Pacific Northwest. You see them anywhere. But that trend, that fashion kind of twist, chunky. Bigger,
I haven't seen this this. Okay.
Yeah, and here you have a casual, what might be a house slipper, but I mean, this is a loafer that you can wear outside. It's plush, it's big, it's very much the style statement. Same with your boots.
Yeah, and dress up and dress down with all of these options. Again, I'm finding favorites that I want to take. And last up, you want to talk to us about a waist focus for men. What's happening here?
It's really interesting, and I really have a sense that this trend will continue to evolve. But in my perspective, from an accessory standpoint, you don't have too many accessory options for the guys. Traditionally, right? You have your shoes, you have your ties and things, but there's a lot of designers putting emphasis on the waist. So you have a belt that's kind of built in, which is super fun. Just a really easy way to do it. These pants are super fun. When you put them on, they actually sort of billow out, so they naturally create a silhouette.
Gorgeous.
That just creates a little bit more shape. It's really, really interesting.
I know this wide leg trend too that I'm seeing a little more with menswear.
Exactly.
Not so tailored sometimes.
The skinny pants are kind of out for a little bit. I mean, wear what you want, but generally speaking, from a trends perspective, it's all about loose and comfort and spending time with yourself.
Oh, Andrew, thank you so much. I love when you're on. We learn so much, and you're just the best.
Thank you.